I need to be back. You all come back eventually. Why do you try to run away in the first place? It doesn't matter. Even though you're here, you're going to try and run again. Just stop. Because just like this town, you're only moving in circles. Saturday. Well. Yeah, Mom, I bought it. Yeah, brought it. No, I've got everything. No, TJ's with us. We picked him up yesterday. No, I did call you yesterday. There was no answer. Fine, yeah. I'll try more than once next time. So, of course, they're clean. Listen, I'm driving right now, so... Yeah, so I shouldn't be on the phone, should I? I'm gonna hang up. Okay, love you too. Bye. I sigh and finally hang up the phone, dropping it on my lap. TJ next to me in the passenger seat stretches back and scratches behind his ear. Aw, that's cute. It's been a while since I've seen your mom. How is she? I shrug. Fine, I think she wouldn't tell... Yeah, fine, I think. She wouldn't tell me if she wasn't anyway. TJ taps a foot against the dashboard before yawning. Wow, it feels like we've been driving for days. Normally, TJ wasn't one to whine, but the long drive was obviously getting to him. It was getting to all of us, honestly. I look over at him. We're almost there. Why don't you listen to some music or something? My phone's been dead for the past 2 hours. I didn't know it would take us 8 hours to get there. I sigh. Whether that dig was purposeful or not, I still feel a little embarrassed. I'll admit, I got us lost for a few hours. Route 93 is hard to find, even with the GPS. It's no wonder that echoes in the state it's in. You should have brought a book. Those don't run out of batteries. I look up into the rearview mirror and see Jenna hold up a hefty book titled Cognition. TJ sighs. All of my books are on my phone. Why don't you listen to the radio? TJ starts to reach for the dial. Don't bother. All we get out here are Higgs stations. I have some music on my phone though. Do you have an aux cable, Chase? And this clunker? No, but like I said, we're almost there. Just having the three of us here is a little awkward, unbalanced. I wonder if completing our little group will bring back that old chemistry. Thinking about seeing Carl, Flynn, and Leo again makes my heart skip a beat. Take exit 127 onto Flint Road. I jerk back to the present and press on the brakes as I swerve onto the exit ramp. That's dangerous. Whoa. Sorry. Chase, come on, pay attention. TJ adds a little giggle to lighten the chastisement, but my face gets hot anyway. Hey, me and Jenna went 3 hours out of our way to pick you up from CCU. You could have taken the bus. No, I'm grateful. I'd just rather this not be the place I die. Haha. Ooh, he's nervous. We continue down Flint Road for about 15 minutes in silence, while I avoid the ever-increasing number of potholes on the road. I think we're all a little nervous now, as we get closer to our destination. Unsurprisingly, there isn't another car in sight. You guys excited? I look in my rearview mirror again and see that Jenna has put down her book, staring out the window. I actually haven't given a whole lot of thought as to how I feel about the whole thing. Yeah, not really. I'm nervous. Yeah, I'll be. It'll be great to see everyone again. It's been way too long. I meant Echo. Are you excited to go back? Oh, I didn't really know how to answer that. Is excited the right word? It's yeah, it's sure as hell stressful. As long as we can go for a hike. DJ likes climbing. I don't want to be sitting around in the motel all day. Well, it beats having a heat stroke in the desert. Are you seriously hiking the trail? Oh, come on, it'll be fun. At least I know Chase. At least I know Chase will come. TJ smiles at me, raising his brows. It's too hard to say no to such an eager face, at least right now. To such an eager face. At least right now. Yeah, of course. Anyway, it sounded like you've only got the boys on your mind, Chase. Leo, maybe? Make a slight right onto Lake Emma Road. I ignore Jenna, pretending to be distracted with adjusting the GPS. A few more minutes of silence pass before Jenna speaks up again. So, this news thing you're making, what's it about exactly? God. I swerved a little to avoid another pothole. A news packet? If you remember, there was that one crazy thing that happened here in the early 1900s. I read a little bit about it, and it's pretty fucked up. Come on, Chase. Language. Just thought I'd do a little more digging. Honestly, though, I just need to make something that looks good enough to pass with. Looks good enough to pass with. Well, that sounds kind of fun. Are you going to have enough time to hang out? I know Leo made some plans. This whole thing was Leo's idea, actually. When I told him that I'd be coming down to Echo for spring break, he suggested we all use it as an excuse to have a reunion. He says it hasn't been the same since the three of us left. Yeah, I should. I just need some B-roll and shots of the old creepy locations. Shouldn't take too long. I catch a flash of blue and see the lake to our right. The conversation dies down a bit, and pretty soon we're all lost in our own thoughts. Finally, we round a bend, and I start to catch some glimpses of the town. The tall rusted signs for the gas station and motel loom over the rest of the old community. Lake Emma Road merges right onto the main street where the motel is at. Soon enough, we're turning into a parking lot. There are only a few other cars in the parking lot. I park in the closest spot next to the door and switch off the ignition, relieved to be done with driving. I sit back for a moment, rubbing my eyes. Ugh, I hope you're grateful, TJ. Yeah, I hope you're grateful, TJ. I never want to drive that long again. Thanks, Chase. TJ hops out of the car, clearly happy to be out. Ugh. Ooh. TJ puts his paws to his back, and stretches out from toes to ear tufts, and I hear a few cracks. Gosh, it feels good to be out of there. I smile as I follow him out and stretch as well. Though less flamboyantly, it's good to see TJ reverting back to his old cheerful self. Alright, I made the reservation, so I'll check us in. You boys want to bring in our stuff? Sure. Me and TJ head around to the trunk of the car, getting our packs and camera equipment while Jenna heads inside. I'm pleasantly surprised. While it's a bit messy, the room is spacious and generally clean, a lot more than I was expecting from a town like Echo. Although I've lived in the town for most of my life, I've never actually been in the motel. Hey, this is nice. And 2 double beds? Yeah, thought I'd get one of the nice rooms since everything here is dirt cheap. TJ sets his bags down on the bed. So I guess this will be me and Chase's bed. Jenna can have her own, obviously. That's nice of you, TJ. Anyways, here are your key cards. She handles both our key cards, which I slip into my back pocket. So when are we gonna eat? I'm starving. My stomach grumbles. We haven't eaten since breakfast and it's late afternoon at this point. I pull out my phone, checking over my text with Leo. Leo said he's gonna get us some sandwiches from the diner. Did you tell? Yes, I told him to substitute the bread with lettuce for yours, TJ. Nice. Right, well, I've texted everyone that we're here. Let's at least unpack. It's going to get crowded, and I don't want all our stuff in the way. Half an hour later, we've got all our stuff packed away in the motel drawers. Now I'm sitting on the bed, toying with my camera equipment while TJ watches TV, and Jenna organizes her schoolwork. You know you're on vacation, right? And didn't you already get into grad school? You should relax. That's exactly why I need to be keeping up. There's a knock at the door, and being the closest, I get up to answer it. I'll get it. I look through the peephole excitedly and see a beanie cap with a pair of some very familiar horns poking through it. I grin as I unlock the door and swing it open. I need some water. Carl. Chase. I slap paws with him and pull him into a hug. And immediately get a whiff of the pungent scent of pot. Despite that, his embrace is warm and plush. His belly swishes against my body like a pillow through his jacket. There's an underlying sturdiness, though, and I feel his biceps bulge around my shoulders. Had he been working out? I put my paws on his shoulders and push him back, looking him over. He's changed a bit since I've last seen him. He's definitely bulkier. The fur on his face is a bit shaggier. His eyes are a little red, and his expression is a little glazed, like he's daydreaming about some place far away from here. Still getting blazed, huh? You know it. His jokey nature drops a bit as he gives me a genuine smile. It's good to see you again. I feel warm inside as I smile back. You too. Is that Carl I hear? Carl and I step back into the room, remaining slouched as we do. Hey Jenna. Carl, how have you been? Not bad, just living life like a movie. It sounds like he's starting to sing the lyrics to a song, but he trails off as we all look at him expectantly. He just smiles back. Huh? Hey, is that DJ? Hi. Though he's smiling happily, TJ is outright crinkling his nose. Still up to your old habits, huh? Carl shrugs. I'm starting to remember that it's something he does a lot. It's his answer to almost everything. He gets quiet for a moment, then I clap my paws together. So what have you been up to, Carl? You're not online that often. Carl shrugs. Oh, you know, just hanging out. Must be kinda boring considering it's Echo. Not going outside helps, haha. You've been able to find a job? I know they closed the old corner market you used to work at. Yeah, been kinda hard since pretty much everything's closing around here. On top of that, I still don't have a car that can get me to Peyton. Oof, that's right. You crashed the one your parents got to. TJ's grinning sympathetically, but Carl hunches further into himself, looking sulky. Man, don't kill my vibe. What about school? Been thinking about going back? Not really. Maybe. Carl's starting to lose that faraway look as he narrows his eyes. You should. You went for what, a semester? There's not really enough time to tell if you're really cut out for college. Classes get easier to handle once you get used to it. Yeah, well, it wasn't exactly the school work that was the problem. You could try smoking less weed. That might help. What? Is this what I set up for an intervention or something? Carl looks over as asking for help. Hey, don't look at me. I had to deal with them for the past 10 hours. Yeah, guess I just forgot how snaggy they can be. That's because we care about you, Carl. Anyway, I'm pretty sure Chase has been missing you ever since he left school. Carl and I were in the same class throughout school. As a result, we entered college together. We even roomed together for that one semester, which was a lot of fun. Of course, I had missed him. Carl seems pretty eager to get off the topic, though. Speaking of school, didn't you get accepted into Weston, Jenna? Yep, I'm going into the experimental psych. I think I said that right. I start in the fall. That's pretty cool. Congrats. Carl turns back to me. And you're into journalism, right? He looks over the equipment looking confused. What's all this for? What's all this? Oh, yeah. One of the reasons why I'm out here. I am doing a new segment on Echo. Sounds like the feel-good movie of the year, Chase. That's what you get. Yeah, that's what you get out of the feel-good town of the century, Carl. Yeah. Carl snatches his muzzle before turning to TJ. And you're doing what again? Sports, something, Bible books, athletic training, but yes, it's a Christian school. Carl gives a thumbs up. Super, so we gonna eat? I'm hungry as hell. Hell is a little extreme there, Carl. Not even you can be that hungry. Sure. Where's Leo? He's bringing the sandwiches, right? He actually just texted me. He's here. He was picking up them. So we're all going to be there. Be here, just like old times. DJ almost looks like that little kid Lynx again. His ears switching around with excitement. Ooh, there they are. I grip the bedspread and watch as Carl moves around the corner to open the door. I hear it open, followed by the distinctive, deep, brassy voice of Flynn. Sorry. Hey, why are you getting the door, fatty? To get my sandwiches, dick face. I've got the munchies like a mother. Where are they? Leo has them. Here he is. Hey, that's all. Hey, they all in there? My heart skips a beat and my tail comes to the bed as I hear Leo's hi. I think I said that right, bro. There's some bustling before they start coming around the corner, bringing me face to face with the rest of my childhood friends. Flynn comes first, slinking in casually, his posture loose and relaxed, slouching. Unlike Carl, though, his slouch makes him look like he just doesn't give a fuck, as opposed to just trying to make himself seem smaller. He wasn't a shy guy, as evidenced by his open shirt. And who are you calling a dick face? Flynn knocks Carl on the head, which made a loud thunking sound, but Carl just grins throughout. Hey Jenna, TJ, Chase. He nods to each of us in turn, rubbing his knuckles. Immediately following him, his arms wrapped around the two big brown paper bags, is Leo. He smiles over the top of the bags, sweeping the room with his eyes, along with his tall rectangular ears. He pauses on Jenna and TJ before finding me. His face immediately breaks into a full-on grin. As he walks over to the bed I'm sitting down the bags. As he comes to a stop in front of me, I reach out my paws to slap his, like I did with Carl. Instead, he grabs it to yank me up right into a tight bear hug, nearly squeezing the air out of me. Chase. Man, I missed you. Just like Carl, it seems like Leo's gotten bigger and stronger. He lifted me up without even trying. tension I've been feeling in my chest melts away like an ice cube on an echo sidewalk. Everything's fine. All that worry about how he was going to react was for nothing. The hug is lasting kinda long though. I can feel everyone else looking at us. And just like that, he forgets we exist. Leo finally does pull back then, smacking me on the shoulder before turning to be Jenna and TJ. I shakily sit back down, feeling a whole lot better now that the introductions are out of the way. Fuck. Leave Carl in the room for 5 seconds and it smells like a goddamn skunk sauna. The weed is just oozing out of your pores at this point. Flynn theoretically plugs his nostrils as he pulls the window open the crack. Carl rolls his eyes, slouching further and jamming his paws in his pockets. Oh, shut up. I think everyone here agrees that my smell is a lot better than your shedding. Nothing like leaving a big wild lizard dust on the couch for the next person. And by the way, dude, that's the comic what species is. And that lizard comment wasn't? Flynn turns to me, fanning air, and from the outside with his hand. What's worse, Chase, Carl's smell or my dusting off? Dusting off? That's not a thing. Try saying white flakes that chip off of me with every step I take, except when I scratch my ass. Then it's like a fucking lizard of dead skin. And some of it might land in your mouth. That's what you should call it. Hey, you furballs, do it too, it's just less noticeable. Either way, it's hot in here. Aren't you cold-blooded? Someone turn on the goddamn thermostat. Somebody turn on your language. PJ says it to him like a cheerful kindergarten teacher, pep talking a sentence using his words. They just stare at each other for about 5 seconds, putting the question like a stone, while TJ slowly loses his smile. Oh Jesus fucking Christ, I'll be sure to watch that. Flynn. TJ actually looks pretty upset, but Flynn just reaches out and yanks him into a chokehold, and the short lengths easily dwarfed by the lizard. Shut up, Chris. I'm just kidding. TJ half-heartedly fights the hold. I guess TJ thought he'd get some respect. Now we're all adults. Hey, ow. You still said it. Normally, I might step in to help, but it's been a while since I've seen Flynn and TJ go at it. It's just too funny to stop. Look, no lighting. So much for your almighty go. Ooh. TJ jabs his elbow back into Flynn's stomach, doubling the lizard over for a second. See? God works in a mysterious way. Ow. Flynn reaches up and grabs at one of the tufts on TJ's ears and yanks, earning a yowl from the feline. Foul species features ones that was something we made up to make our tussles a little more fair. It involved any distinct physical difference between our species that might pose at a disadvantage, like my tail, Jen's ears, or TJ's ear tufts. Carl was especially keen on it, being a ram. His sons were often used as leverage against him. TJ, come get your sandwich. TJ finally yanks himself out of Flynn's grasp, smoothing down his fur as he tries to look as dignified as possible. Well, I can see things haven't changed. Would that... Wait, have or haven't? Oh, wait. I can't help but laugh. I think TJ won that one by technical team. Or did he? He might have fouled too. Flynn's got a soft lizard belly. Oh my god. What did I do? Oh, didn't he even try to tell me about the soft? Asshole. Looked like you swallowed a beach ball. Speaking of which, food. We all pass the bags around to get our food. the chicken sandwich for Jenna and TJ. For Jenna and TJ, roast beef for me and Leo, and 3 large veggie burgers that almost take up their own bag for Carl. Flynn, as usual, isn't eating anything. I think it's a lizard thing. I keep my seat on the bed as I unwrap the foil around my sandwich. The smell wafts up from the beef, making my mouth water and bringing some memories up with it. We'd all spent many nights at the old diner. Me and Carl graduated. He took us all straight from Peyton High to the diner, skipping out on all-night graduation party for sandwiches and milkshakes. I took a huge bite, and a yellow bell pepper slips out either, and landing back in the foil. Whoa, slow down, you're going to choke. Suddenly, I'm almost falling over to the side. Something heavy plants itself next to me on the bed. I quickly grab a napkin and bring it to my muzzle, wiping away the grease. Hey, Leo. Leo chuckles at my embarrassment and unwraps his own sandwich. Sorry if the bread is a little soggy. Carl over here took his sweet time getting to the car. Hey, working in the town hall is serious business. I don't have a family business I can just waltz out of like you. Hey Flynn, I'll bet you that I can eat this whole burger in 1 minute. Is that a fucking joke? Of course you can. Yeah, but what about 2 burgers? Don't choke, Carl. I decided to keep the conversation on Leo's job since that's the whole reason why he's still here. Is business still pretty good? Yes, Peyton's getting bigger, so is the number of customers. I guess it's a good thing your dad moved it out of Echo, huh? For sure, the place is turning into a ghost town. It probably will be in another decade or 2. By some standards, it already is. I took another bite of my sandwich, biting right into another bell pepper. I'd forgotten how good the diner food is. I noticed CJ sitting next to Jenna at the table, picking unhappily at his lettuce wrapped chicken. Jenna seems to as well, and she leans toward him. What's wrong, TJ? It's just... Never mind. It doesn't matter. Are you sure? It's just the mayo. I forget they put everything here. Jenna lifts up the bun on her sandwich, inspecting its contents. None of the mayo really caught my chicken here. No, you don't have. Jenna picks up TJ's sandwich and wraps out his grilled chicken. Rips off the layer of mayo, tainted lettuce from his lettuce button before swapping her chicken in. There, how's that? Thanks. It's then that TJ looks up and sees Leo, and I staring at him. I see his ears flatten in embarrassment. What? Nothing. TJ, nothing. So, are your parents still letting you live in the house here in Echo? Yes, we actually tried to sell it last year, but of course, no one bought it. I think 2 people came to look, but took off once they saw the town. Anyway, my parents are living in Peyton, and a house twice as big as the old one. Well, it must be pretty cool living in your own house. My parents aren't consistently breathing down my neck, so that's, nice. Leo's already finished his first sandwich, and now he's unwrapping the second. He sure could eat a lot. How many people are still here anyway? In the town, I mean. Leo takes another bite, and I hear the crunch of the peppers through his muzzle. He chews thoroughly for a moment before swallowing. Not too sure. Of course I know almost everyone here, but most don't actually live here anymore. Everyone's turned their old house into a sort of vacation home now. Really? Why? I can't imagine anyone coming here for vacation. Unless your hobbies are meth or dying of heat stroke. Well, They've all got their old house. They've all got their old houses here, and it's cheap to build. And the town is actually trying to turn that old lake into a recreational thing. Like Emma? Yeah, they're putting in docks and stuff. Huh? Lake Emma is the old reservoir, just a few minutes outside of Echo. As kids, we used to play around there all the time. It was generally an ugly place. Dead fish on the banks, a terrible smell, and mosquitoes everywhere. Then again, it could have changed since then. I haven't been there in 12 years now. None of us have. Thinking about the lake is making my stomach tighten again, forcing away my appetite in the process. It's been so long. At this point, I need to learn to get over things. Actually, that reminds me. The others are pretty deep in their own conversations, but I lowered my voice anyway, leaning into Leo. Hey, Leo. Leo turns to me. He had been in the middle of a massive bite. Now he has a bell pepper half hanging out of his muzzle. That throws off my train of thought for a second. Oh yeah. So I wanted to get some shots of the lake for my project. Leo ducks his head to pull out the pepper from his muzzle, and I shove it back in a second later. He chews first for a while, but his ears are still tipped towards me, so I go in. It's kind of important to Echo's history. Anyway, you told me that on Monday everyone's free during lunch. I can tell by the set of Leo's ears that he knows where I'm going. And he's not too into the idea. I quickly go on. Of course, we don't have to, but it's been a long time. And if the town is making it look better, it could be fun. Listen, Chase. I feel my face burn a little when I'm under the fur. Sorry, it was a dumb idea. No, Chase. If it were up to me, I'd definitely do it. It's just... Leo looks towards Flynn, and I do as well, finding himself bantering with Carl. It doesn't matter how fucking fast you eat, I'm not gonna be impressed. He's got that classic Flynn look on his face, where he's pressing his lips together trying not to smile. What if I ate all three? You've already eaten most of the first one, so that's not gonna happen now, is it? I look back down at my sandwich. Suddenly feel guilty. Here I am, back after 3 years, just assuming that I know how everyone feels. Now I'm kind of feeling like an imposter. Leo notices, like he always did, and he nudges me with his shoulder. Hey, don't worry about it, it's not your fault. Suddenly, Leo's ears pick up, and I know he suddenly had an idea. His ears made him easily readable, just as reading people come easily to him. It made it all the more impressive that he was able to tell what most of us were thinking concerning my short, stubby ears. Or Flynn's lack thereof. Listen, there's a cool little spot by the river that's actually pretty close to the lake. We could have lunch and you could walk over and get your shots. The idea makes me feel a bit better. Alright, that could be fun. Also, this motel doesn't have a pool, so it'll be really nice to swim in something. Yeah, otters in their waters. Anyway, I'll have to ask Flynn, but I think he'll be okay with it. What would really impress me is if you didn't eat the rest. You're a funny guy, Flynn. Carl goes right back to shoving the next burger into his mouth as Flynn looks on in mild disgust. He suddenly notices watching him and he gives us an odd look, but that slowly morphs into a smirk as he focuses on Leo. You're looking pretty happy there, Leo. Not like you've been for the past 3 years. I furrow my brow in confusion and I look up at Leo. I see him shift and he's giving Flynn a look that I don't quite understand. Well, of course I'm happy. Of course I'm happy to see us all back together again. I look from Leo to Flynn, and it's pretty easy to imagine a ball of electricity between them. You should have seen him, Chase. He'd go days without smiling. Agreed. Leo's been kind of a dick ever since you guys left. Isn't Jenna a counselor? Hey, you should have a session with Leo. I'm still an undergrad. I'm not going into counseling anyway. That would just make me sad. TJ's busy trying to hold his sandwich together and eat it at the same time. Not very successfully, but he looks up as well. Leo, depressed? It's hard to imagine you not smiling. You seemed fine online. Has something been going on, Leo? For the first time since he's arrived, Leo looks truly uncomfortable. You don't see him like that very often. Flynn, on the other hand, is trying not to smirk face on. Leo pauses, pinned down by everyone's eyes in the room. Then he takes a frustrated breath. Can't people be sad sometimes? Yes, things have been harder, but I'm fine. I think it's pretty clear that Flynn, Leo flexes his long muzzle at the lizard, is just trying to get some reactions. Sure. I'm just saying, you're back to your old self. But seriously, it's great. Leo makes a snorting sound. I'm about to ask Leo what's so stressful when he lets this fall up again to take a bite of his almost vanished sandwich. I go quiet as I look at his paw. The silver anchor tied around his wrist with leather. The word otter is etched into the shank of the anchor. The name Chase is engraved into the stock. Why was he still? Chase! I jump as TJ's voice breaks through my trance. I'm still in the bed once I come down. Leo looks at me as the bed wobbles, an eyebrow raised. TJ puts a paw to his muzzle. Oops, sorry, you were kinda just staring off into space. Yeah, just thinking about stuff. What's up? We were just talking about the last game, didn't you? Tell me that you saw the movie on the drive here? I really don't get you right now, TJ. The last game was the worst Lions Brigade movie. You're just mad because they didn't follow the comics. Yeah, Carl, as a movie, it was just better. I'm sure the comics are great too, though. Nah, the comics are shit. Carl tried showing them to me once. What? See? This is the problem. They never follow the source material, and no one cares because they have no respect for the originals, man. You're way too prickly. Too picky. Carl. Lost Game was a great movie. Not you too, Leo. No. I think the Lions Brigade was always a bit too violent for me. With all that shooting and punching. With all the shooting and punching. I've always liked the Trinity Weasel. She's the thinking man's superheroine. Superheroine. Okay, my god. Carl waves his paw dismissively. The Trinity comics have always been pretty lame. They're jerk-off fodder for lonely nerds, and so's the movie. Ha, you mean like yourself? Hey. Hold up, we're talking about Trinity now? Julia Blasco, she's hella fine. Never seen like her own weasel before. That's because it's fake. No, I just like the story. It's really kind of deep if you think about it. It was hard to think about when half the shots are slow-mo and she's doing all these flips and back bends and shit. I didn't think that was your sort of thing anyway, Flynn. Flynn doesn't have time to retort before Jenna shifts her attention, suddenly coming to TJ's defense. Come on, Trinity does have more story going on than your average superhero movie. I just think it's great. It's great that you like her character overall. The meatheads. Yeah, they just suck and all the boob shots to reel in the dummies. Of course, that's easy for someone like you to say. Besides, let's see what's going on here. Maybe you should watch the Che Lobo, TJ. He's shirtless the whole time. TJ's ears go flat, tufts pointed at the ground. I'd better stop it with all this saucy talk. The only way this could get any more awkward is if you got sprung. We all groan in unison, but TJ shoots right back. And knowing you, that's exactly what you want to happen, isn't it, Flan? And I get a few surprised chuckles. Damn, TJ, where'd that come from? It isn't that is a partially good joke. It's that it came from TJ. That makes it so funny. I don't think I've ever heard him talk like that. Even Flynn can't keep from grinning a little bit. We talk late into the afternoon. At this point, all my worries have disappeared, leaving a happy, warm feeling in this place. It seems silly that I'd been so nervous earlier. In fact, I'm starting to look forward to the rest of the week.